Hey folks, how's it going? I've got a bit of a throwback actually. So what I hold in my hands is the Zoom 505. This is a multi-effects pedal. Says here 24 effects, 9 at once with 24 programs. Autochromatic tuner, 8 types of distortion, and amp simulation. So you can store, you can edit a bunch of presets. There was 32 presets in this. It's pretty interesting. Now these are really, really old. Okay. I looked it up, and I guess the first one of these was released in 1996. So this is a real throwback. I'm not 100% sure how old this one is. That said, just mathematically, it's at least 25 years old, almost 30. Could be almost 30 years old. But again, I can't really guarantee that because I can't figure out what date this was manufactured. I think for a lot of us who might be of a certain vintage, we may have actually, something like this or something like it, could have been our first introduction into like guitar effects and stuff. So I picked this up used, well obviously used, it's 30 years old. And I thought I would kind of put it through its paces, see how the presets sounded, and so you're gonna see that in a second. But also because, like, I started looking around at all the guitars I had, and I did have one guitar that I thought, somebody could have used with something like this, and that is actually, here's another throwback for you, the Parker P36 guitar. I mean, it's essentially a Telecaster with kind of like an acoustic sound built right into it. I just haven't gotten around. I got so much stuff on the go here. But I'm going to do a video on it in the near future anyway. But yeah. Where I was growing up, like these were quite sought after guitars. This series came out, I looked it up, and I think it was like 2003, I think they started coming out with these. So anyway, I thought it'd be kind of cool to use this guitar with, such an old school unit, right? Before we get started, please, you can look right over here, the subscribe button. Okay, if you like what we're doing here, if you want to support the channel, that's the best way you can, is to subscribe to the channel and, tell all your friends, share the video, that sort of thing. Anyway, let's get into this. This is the Zoom 505 multi-effects pedal using the Parker P36. Here we go. And we're back. That was kind of fun. So yeah, here's the guitar. You know, why do I still have this on? I'm going to take this off. Give me a sec here. Okay, so the sounds you can get out of this, I'm actually pretty impressed. And I mean, like, I was thinking about if I should do a review, like call this a review or a demo. I guess it's sort of in between. I mean, like, first off, like, other than finding one in the used market, and I picked this up off a guy for like 40 bucks, $40, what the heck, right? And like, how am I supposed to comment on the durability? It's 25 years old. The fact that it still works is pretty impressive in and of itself. Now, the only thing I will say with this, like, I thought the sound sounded great. I really did. And I mean, it's pretty impressive that after 25 years, this thing is still working like a charm. Now, the only caveat I will say is that a lot of the effects, there's quite the volume spike between them. So if, mostly with the clean, okay, any kind of clean sounds, the effect goes a lot quieter, which is probably not that unexpected. So something to consider, but otherwise, like, as far as quality of sound goes, pretty impressive. I really did just plug this right into my audio interface and recorded it that way. Now, that said, I think, like, this was clearly marketed towards beginners, which is, you know, understandable. I don't know if I would ever want to use something like this live, just because it's just terrifically impractical to be cycling through all of these different effects. But for a practice tool, for a, you know, in-home mess around, learning what type of effects you like, you can do a heck of a lot worse than something like this. If you're gonna go the gigging route, okay, I would actually suggest that you pick up something like this, okay? This is the Valden GP200. I've done a ton of videos on this thing, and I've done a ton of a lot of sound clips from it, okay? But the main reason is, I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? You can pre-assign to specific buttons, different sounds, different tones, and it comes with this volume/wah pedal, however you set it up. So, wouldn't suggest it for live applications. I'd suggest you go with something like this. But for just in studio, at home, messing around and seeing what kind of sounds you can get, you can do a heck of a lot worse than something like this. And I did look it up. Zoom is still in production. I mean, not this specific model. I mean, this is, again, 25 years old. But there's a whole bunch of different products that are going to come on the screen right now from Zoom, including a couple of multi-effects units. So, worth looking at, okay? Especially if you're a beginner. More and more, I think if you're a beginner guitar player, you should look at something like this, because you're not necessarily interested in playing live just yet, okay? But you are trying to figure out what kind of sounds you actually like. And you can waste a lot of money going through various pedals, that sort of thing. This way, you can buy a cheap unit like this, try it out, try out as many sounds as you like, edit them as you wish, and see what actually suits your style of music. Anyway, that's about it. This is Sandy Ridge Music, where tone and tech collide, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Take care.